What's up guys, this is Chris here, and today we are going to be talking about some awesome handguns. Today we're going to be going over the best shooting handguns of all time. We have had a lot of handguns on the channel, we've reviewed an absolute ton, and there are many great ones, but the few that are at the tippy top are going to be on this list. They're going to be fast, they're going to be accurate, they're going to have low recoil, and they're all going to have great ergonomics. There's going to be a few big ones, a few small ones, and a few different calibers as well. That way, there's something for everybody. Before we get into the video, I do want to mention my patron supporters. It's because of you guys we have all these cool guns to review and ammunition to shoot them, and we really appreciate you guys. If you want to support the channel, that's the best way to do it. Just go to the link in the description below. Also in that description is a link to a local shelter named Iowa. It's the YSS. Those kids could really use your help, so please go down to the donate page and donate to those kids. The donate link is in the description of this video and all of my videos. That being said, let's get right into it with number 10, and it happens to be a new release for 2024. This is the Sig P365 AXG. Now, the P365 AXG was something I was kind of interested in because of its looks, but really interested in after we shot it. This is one of the fastest micro 9mm that you can shoot. This has a 3-inch barrel with a 4-inch slide and included compensator to help reduce that recoil. It has a direct milled optics mounting system, which gets it lower and allows you that single point of aim. And I would say this probably has the best trigger of almost any P365 I've ever tried. So we have a really good break to allow for good accuracy, and we have a good reset as well, allowing for fast follow-up shots, which is exactly what you want when you're going out and going fast. Now, one of my favorite things about the gun is not just the comp and not just the color, which really looks awesome, but it's actually the grip itself. This gun is only 1 inch wide, it's smaller than a Glock 19, and it has a capacity of 17+1. Now, that extra capacity allows you a little extra grip compared to the normal P365, and this magwell helps with that as well. So not only do you get quick reloads, but you can really wrench down on the gun and shoot it much quicker than you can a normal P365. I would say this is certainly one of the best do-it-all guns you can buy today, and definitely one of the best shooting 9mm in the subcompact class. In at number 9, we have a Beretta 92. Probably the best shooting Beretta 92 ever released, and that is the 92X Performance. Not only is it a great looking gun with that stainless look, but it also is a single action only Beretta with a manual safety like a 1911. And that was before it was cool, before they released a bunch of them. This gun actually came out around 4 years ago or so, and it was designed very specifically for competition, and it is a big girl, I can tell you that. It is 50 ounces of solid Italian steel, and it shoots like an absolute dream. It has a fiber optic front sight with an adjustable blacked out rear. The trigger is awesome, around 3.5 pounds with a single action pull. The reset is great as well. The barrel material itself is of very high quality, and it groups at less than 3 inches at 50 yards, which is extremely impressive. Not only is it accurate, not only does it feel good, the recoil is low as well. 50 ounces and a single action gun. That hefty weight helps out a lot with recoil, but it limits you a little bit on transition speed, so keep that in mind. That hefty weight of 50 ounces allows it to be just legal for competition and makes the recoil almost non-existent. Now, if that's too big for you, another great shooting Beretta 92 is the M9A4, my personal favorite. It's an aluminum frame. It has a little bit more recoil, but it shoots almost the exact same, but you get that double action and you get the aluminum frame, so it's better for carry. Either way, it's hard to go wrong with a Beretta 92. In at number 8, we have our Magnum. This is the FK Bruna PSD 7.5 FK. I feel like a little kid right now. Now this is a semi-automatic 5-inch barreled 7.5 FK pistol that packs quite a damn punch. And it has a lot of interesting features on the gun that makes it very shootable by comparison to other big bore semi-autos, even like the Desert Eagle. I like the Desert Eagle a lot, but it is not reliable, whereas the FK Bruna absolutely is. This packs 17 rounds of 7.5, which is capable of taking an elk at over 100 yards, and you can bill drill them in like 2.5 seconds. It is really a feat of engineering that they are capable to tame this cartridge with the recoil mechanism that they have in the dust cover here, and that's why it looks so fat. It sort of looks like it came right out of Judge Dredd. I am very happy with the way the gun looks, and I'm also happy that the polymer frame version comes out at an affordable price of around $15,000 to $2,000, because I had the original steel version of this pistol and it was $7,000. Although it did shoot great, probably wasn't worth the money. Now, not only is the recoil good, the caliber is good, the fun is good, but on top of that, it is unbelievably accurate. We have a single action trigger, as you see here, with a great reset as well, and then it has an interesting optics mounting system that allows you to move stuff around and mount any optic that you want. I have a hollow sun on here for that single point of aim, but if you don't want to get into the dots, it actually comes with 3 sets of iron sights, even ghost ring sights, so you can get even more accurate with it. Very impressive, and one of the best shooting big bore calibers that you can get. In at number 7, we have the mighty Walther PDP. Now, the Walther PDP is a striker-fired polymer frame pistol. The PDP X has a 4.5-inch slide with a comp on it and a full dust cover, allowing low recoil. It also has an optics mounting system, adjustable sights, and the best trigger in the polymer frame industry. This is a striker-fired trigger that is better than a lot of 1911s I've had, which is saying something. The lighter trigger that you have, usually the more accurate you're going to be with it because the less issues that you're going to have pulling the trigger. The shorter reset, usually the faster follow-up shots, and in this case, this gun is extremely fast and accurate. Now, this is what I would consider to probably be the best shooting PDP, besides maybe the steel frame match, which I haven't been able to get a hold of yet because they're so hard to find, but I will get one. That being said, the PDP X here is definitely no slouch. Parker mountain machine, single port comp. It has a red dot mounting system so you can put any red dot you want, but most importantly, it has solid ergonomics to give you good recoil control. The first time I ever shot this gun, we actually took it out to 150 yards and I was able to get consecutive hits, which certainly says a lot about the polymer frame Wonder 9. I think the Walther PDP is an excellent choice and certainly good enough to be number 7 on this list. In at number 6, we have the best shooting 5.7 pistol. This is the M&P 5.7. Now, as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of this gun. We reviewed this a few years ago, and it actually has a really interesting system in it that allows it to have even lower recoil than your standard 5.7. If you want to know more about this pistol, obviously we have a full 1,000 review, as well as most of these guns. It comes with a threaded barrel, a light and slide, a dedicated optics mounting system with steel sights. It also has a absolutely phenomenal trigger, and one of the best triggers I've ever had in an M&P. I would say the only trigger that I've ever had that's maybe better than this is the Performance Center, but this is really close for a very affordable price. That's right here. Now, the ergonomics of the pistol feel good, but really why this thing shoots so good is A, the 5.7 pistol has very low recoil for its performance, B, it has a ton of capacity, 22+1 in this, and it is thinner and lighter than a Glock 17. The operating system on this makes it shoot smoother than a shaved duck, and on top of that, you can even add manual safeties if you want. In at number 5, we have one of the weirdest guns on the market, but certainly one of the best. This is the Lago Arms Alien Pistol. Now, this was big in 2020 because there really isn't any other gun like it, and there still hasn't been yet. This gun actually has the lowest bore axis of any handgun that's ever been made, and it has a lot of other unique features as well. It's gas operated, it's sort of like an HKP7 upside down, and it has a non-reciprocating top rail, which your optic actually sits on, so you have the lowest reciprocating mass you could possibly have. Add that to the lowest bore axis and one of the best triggers you can get, and you have an unbelievably fast handgun. Now, not only is the gun fast, but it's fairly reliable, but the most impressive part about it is how accurate the gun is. Not only is it very accurate because of the sighting setup, but the gun itself is so inherently accurate that you can hit targets out to 100 yards extremely easily with this gun, and very quickly as well. I got that pepper popper at 100. One of the best shooting handguns we've ever had on the channel, but it's certainly going to cost you. These guns come in anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000, about as much as your average kidney transplant, but I think they're worth it based on how good they look and how good they shoot. It has CZ ergonomics on the bottom here and sort of a 2011 trigger with a very weird magwell that you're going to have to get used to if you're trying to do quick reloads. But I ended up shooting it for a little bit and absolutely love the gun, and I would argue it's certainly in the top 5 for the best shooting handguns in the world. In at number 4, we have the Sig Sauer P226 X5 Legion. Now, the 226 X5 Legion is what I would consider to be the apex of SIG technology. The 226 is one of the best handguns that's ever been released, and the Legion series is their upgrade series that you usually get better sights, better triggers, better Cerakote, and you do get all of that on the 226. But not only is the 226 a very shootable gun to begin with, but now they made it single action only, they added an optics mount, and they added a compensator, which makes this gun insane. Not only is it one of the most reliable guns that anyone's ever made, it was used in service not only with Special Forces, but with the Navy SEALs for many years, but it's also extremely shootable. A plus 40 ounce steel frame Sig 226 with a compensator is so much fun, you can't believe it. Probably the only downside to the 226 Legion is that it's more expensive than your college education, but it won't disappoint you like that either. I almost chose the Sig P210 for this, but since the 226 has so much more capacity, has a compensator and an optics mount, I feel like it's just the better overall shooting handgun. In at number 3, we have the best shooting micro 9mm, and I've mentioned it before, and I'll say it again, over and over, it's the Shield Plus Performance Center. This guy is my personal carry gun, done up by Floyd Customs, and it has 2 V-ports in the top of the barrel, which allows it to have very low recoil. Also, the slide is done up, so it's a little bit lighter, reciprocates a little bit faster, and I added a direct mounted optic to it. The regular Shield Plus Performance Center shoots just as good, but if you add a couple bells and whistles, she sings even better. Now, this has one of the better triggers you can get, as you can see here. Very light, very crisp 4-pound pull with a very fast reset. And I personally love this gun, not just because of the porting, not just because of the optic system, but the shields themselves have always been low recoiling pistols for me and always been very shootable, and I think that's due to their grip. They have a little bit wider grip here with a narrow grip here, which allows you to get a good grip on the gun, but it doesn't sacrifice carryability. So overall, I feel like it is the best bang for your buck that you can get. Not only is this the best shooting micro 9, but you can get these for starting off at around $500 to $600, which makes them super affordable. If you get the Performance Center, not only do you get the ports, but you also get slightly better texture on the frame, which I definitely prefer, because some of the regular shields are a bit shy on that compared to the 2.0s. But if you like less texture, just go with the standard version, you'll be just as happy with it. The Shield Plus is a 3-inch barreled striker fired pistol that I think is probably the best subcompact 9mm that you can buy on the market. In at number 2, we have the CZ Shadow 2. Now, the CZ Shadow 2 is probably the gun that I have the most rounds through, besides maybe my Shield Plus, and that's because this was my actual competition gun for quite a long time. Not just this one, but I do have 2 other Shadow 2s and a original Shadow, which I used to shoot. I absolutely love the platform, and I think for the money, it's probably not only the best competition pistol, but probably the best shooting handgun you can get for under $1,000. Starting off at around $900, you get a double single action pistol with a long dust cover, 4.8-inch barrel, and internal slide rails with a very light slide that allows you very, very low recoil. Not only that, but it's the only gun that probably rivals the 2011 with a trigger, and you can see here the pull on my AccuShadow, which this is mine from CZ Custom, has around a 2-pound pull. You can see the reset on that is divine. I absolutely love how this gun shoots. This one has a optics mounting system for my Trijicon SRO, and I'm running no sights on this because I used to shoot it in carry optics, but they obviously do come with iron sights. I like how the gun cycles. I love how accurate it is. I love how reliable it is, but most of all, I love the grip. You can get super high on the gun and drive down with the manual safety, allowing you to just control this gun like you wouldn't believe. If you get it on the range, it's hard to believe how amazing this gun shoots. Soft, reliable, accurate, what's not to love? Before we get to number 1, I did want to list a few honorable mentions because this was a pretty damn difficult list to make considering there are so many great guns, so I'll just list off a few quick ones for you. First off, Canik always makes solid shooting guns for the money. The TTI Combat is probably one of the best. If you're going to talk about H&K, it's hard not to talk about the best 45 caliber pistol ever made, the Mark 23. Incredibly accurate, unbelievably shootable, the Mark 23 certainly came close to being on this list. I also want to mention the Glock 17L. I know that not all of you are Glock fanboys, but I kind of am, and if you're looking for the best shooting Glock, the 17L is the best way to go. And finally, I do want to mention the Archon Type B and the PPQ steel frame match. The Archon Type B didn't quite make it because some of these guns perform a little bit better, and the PPQ steel frame match was just slightly outdone by its newer model, the PDP. That being said, let's get into it with number 1, every custom 2011. But I would say that the two that I want to mention that I think are the best, or at least shot the best for me, are going to be the Nighthawk Sandhawk, which is an all-time dream gun for me. It is a compensated double stack 1911 pistol with all the bells and whistles. But I would say that the #1 fastest gun I own, even over the Sandhawk, is probably the Atlas Arabus. Now this is my custom Atlas Arabus that I put in an order for last year and paid an awful lot for. They tricked it all out for me. They put my name on it and they put my face on it on the grip. That doesn't make it any faster, but it does make it a little cooler, at least to me. I have a long serrated trigger in there, and I have an included compensator making this a 5¼ inch gun with a 5-inch dust cover, and I believe it is a 4 7/5 inches slide, or it might be 4½. Full dust cover there. You can put your Surefire light on there if you want, and probably the most accurate and the best shooting handgun I own. The texture on the grip is absolutely insane. One of the only 2011s where you can put grip inserts into, tons of different magwell options, and Atlas's famous 45-degree safety, which gets my big dumb hands out of the way and allows me to grip even more with my left hand, giving me even more recoil control. Now this isn't something that everyone's gonna like. I know my buddy Nick doesn't like these safeties at all, but I personally have very long Jack Skellington hands, and with my fingers and the way my hands are set up, this feels the best out of any handgun I've ever shot. Now the Atlas Gunworks are extremely expensive semi-custom pistols that not only do you have to pay a lot for, but you have to wait a long time. But some of the best things in life are worth the wait, and this bad boy definitely is. One of the fastest guns I've ever shot, one of the most accurate guns I've ever shot, and arguably the most fun. It takes the evolution of the 1911 from over 100 years ago until now, and adds every feature you could ever imagine. Basically going from the Model T to an Indy car. And I think that's the only way you can sum up the Atlas Gunworks. Probably the best performing pistol I've ever shot on the channel. If you like my video, let me know in the comment section. If you disagree, let me know in the comment section as well. There are a few guns out there that I've never tried, and I didn't want to put any guns on the list that I've never tried. So if you think I forgot any, maybe a Pardini, something like that, leave it in the comment section below, because I would love to see your list. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out Oklahoma shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.